The latest Jubilee Surrounded episode, where one person sits in the center of a circle and debates 20 people one at a time. Of course, some people say the best episode of that was when a little guy named Luke Beasley was the one in the center. But who's to say? We know for certain this is not the best performance by the one, being Tim Pool. And I want to just say, Jubilee with love. I don't like how much hate Jubilee gets. People just crap on the whole idea of sort of performative debate, entertainment debate. I think it's fine and fun again there. I mean, look at that. Come on. It's a good time. The team that you see there, really professional, and I enjoyed working with them. But how dare they, again, I say this with love, describe Tim Pool as one moderate versus 20 progressives. There's nothing moderate about Tim Pool. There's not a moderate who the Russian government thinks is in their interest to funnel money to. Clearly, you have to be some form of extremist for Russia to think that they're so divisive and destabilizing to the interests of the United States that they want to prop them up by funneling the money, which of course happened with Tim Pool.
This is why Luke Beasley won't come.
But here is Tim, and the most viral clip is him storming out briefly. Then he comes back and sits down. But he has the claim. The format of the show is the one makes a claim, and then the 20 can rush to the chair to debate the claim. And the claim that they were debating at this point was the United States is tracking towards a civil war. And the person that Tim Pool, and Tim Pool is not a moderate, he's a MAGA, I would say a pretty extreme MAGA, even though he pretends not to be. The person that he's debating against just points out, hey, Tim, for clickbait, for money, for salaciousness, for the grift, you've been predicting a civil war is happening tomorrow every day for the last 10 years. So why are we even discussing this? You have no credibility on it. I will substantiate the liberals' point here after we watch Tim Pool get upset and walk off the set.
The U.S. academics describe the period that we're in as civil strife, meaning there's a criteria of death that has occurred for political reasons over the past year or years, for which the next phase would be civil war. However, we'll make my point, tracking towards it, I've not said that it will happen, although there's been many people who have said that we are in a cold civil war or some kind of cultural civil war. I always caveat, because I don't actually have a strong prediction.
First of all, you do have a strong prediction if you've been saying this since 2019. There's 42
articles about
people
it,
can look this up. There's 42 of your titles that have the word civil war in it.
Correct.
With big fonts on the front.
They sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily. We have 1,600 episodes of just IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an argument, or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, then let's make an argument about whether or not we are tracking. No. If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what I really think is,
let me ask you a question.
The predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't answer.
I will agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask you.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me ask you a question.
If you appreciate this show, please click the subscribe button, completely free, but it helps us a lot, and the like button, and drop a comment. But subscribe, that's the most important. Back to the video.
You're going to sit here and tell me that we're way more polarized than fucking Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, who shot each other with their disagreements? You're going to tell me that Andrew Jackson, who's the sitting president,
do you want to have a conversation, or are you just going to be angry?
Polarization?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
Sorry?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
I'm not disagreeing that political violence is taking place.
Answer the question. You say Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, but then when I ask you a question about an assassination, you defer.
You can say that there's a civil war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I never said there was.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Let me ask you a question.
Or if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all.
Let me ask you a question.
You are the same thing as the Christian rapture people who say that the rapture's coming every fucking year, and when it doesn't happen, it's
do you want a soapbox? Do you want me to get you a soapbox?
It's really
I can leave.
easy. It's really easy to do what you do. It's really easy to do what you do. You literally just say, Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to TimCast. Continue to watch my videos, please. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you do, bro.
That was so epic. He said it's so easy to do what you do as Tim Pool storms off, and then he puts on a beanie, which is why I put on this hat. It's the closest thing I had sitting around to a beanie. And because of course Tim never takes it off, he's insecure about his head. It's okay, I get it, it's fine. But But what did we say? There's like a little ratatouille secretly under there, and that would be exposed if you took it off. But the guy puts on, that's so, I wish I knew this guy's name. I've seen him in a lot of Jubilee videos. He does a really good job. That's so, watch this again. He puts on a beanie.
Fucking year. And when it doesn't happen,
do you want a soapbox? Do you want me to get you a soapbox?
It's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to do what you do. It's really easy to do what you do. Like you literally just say, Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming.
Oh, great job. That's epic. Now, why is that even an important point? Making false predictions doesn't make you a grifter. Tim Pool's a grifter, though. So, like, that's why. That doesn't make him a grifter, but he is one, so then it makes it even more of a grift. And I'm so sick of people civil war mongering. But watch him say this part one more time, because it's key for my fact check.
Although there's been many people who have said that we are in a cold civil war. Tracking, will make my point, tracking towards it, I've not said that it will happen.
He has not said that a civil war will happen. Here are some posts he sent out on X. You are in a civil war. I have not said it will happen. There is going to be a civil war on June 6th, 2020. I have not said it's going to happen. There's going to be a civil war. Now, one thing, this is an interesting reference to make, but, well, before I go to that, the debate opponent of Tim's there is correct. If you just type Tim Pool Civil War on YouTube, Civil War fears reach fever pitch. Charlie Kirk assassination sparks Civil War fears. Civil War will happen by April, says this person. We're dangerously close to Civil War. Civil War. Oh, this video's not performing as well as mine did. That's okay. And then, of course, on Twitter, you can see this screenshot. Civil War. Well, I thought that in my interview with...
That is informed. I know if they're listening to you.
With Hunter Biden, he made a good point about this whole we're more divided than we've ever been. It's not that we're not divided. We are. Oh, my gosh. But people who, for clicks, constantly fearmonger about civil war, I think are not helpful to our discussion. We are divided, yes. Not more than ever. And we can get through this through peaceful means. I do believe that.
They're informed. They're not necessarily captured by some, algorithm that's set by Elon Musk. And so I think that we have an opportunity to be able to go directly to the source, to directly to the people, and speak across platforms, and not be, all these guys, they keep telling us over and over and again. If you go and you watch CNN, we are so divided as a country. This division, we're maybe on the verge of a civil war. There's this violence. You know what? What a bunch of bullshit. You telling me that we're more divided than we were in 1968 after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Robert Kennedy? You're telling me that we are in any way more divided than we were in 1860? You're telling me that we're any more divided, or that we have a division in what we believe in the direction of the country in 1939, when we had a fascist movement here in the United States, centered right here in Los Angeles, that was headed by Charles Lindbergh, who was the most famous and adored person in the world. We've always had this fight. There's always been a permanent confederacy in the United States. The battle is occurring for the soul of the nation, and it happens every generation. The question is, have these guys broken the rule of law to the degree that we won't have the opportunity to address it?
Right, and I think that we will. I think they've broken it a lot, but not irreversibly. And I think that through our democratic process, we can still overcome this moment. And I say that because the second people believe there is no democratic solution, things get real messy. And just remember, the only civil war we ever actually had, even though we've been in very divided times and violence has erupted at different times, as he was referencing, is over states literally trying to secede because they wanted to keep slavery. we're not there or even close to that right now. So just put it in perspective. It's not to downplay how divided we are, but trust me, it could be much worse. And that's not to downplay the concerns about the moment we're in, the existential crises that we face, but to give you hope for the ability to solve them while still watching Netflix in the evenings. You see what I mean? Because I'm not fighting a civil war. Is Tim going to? What happens when his beanie gets taken off? He's going to like turn it to dust. I feel like you just turn it into a puddle. So we could do this. The reason why, though, Tim, and this makes me really upset, that people like you are such hacks is you lie in the interest of the only thing that could get us to the point of mass violence. I still don't. Civil war, if we're using it in the historical context or very literally, not just a lot of violence, which again has happened a lot throughout our history, but like two organized factions backed by different versions of state power clashing with each other is what I'm imagining here. Or like a very organized coalition of militias that could actually put up a fight against the U.S. military. Not happening, but okay. The only thing that could get us there is if we came to believe that we were no longer living in a democratic system. And Tim Pool runs cover for the movement that pushes us closer to that than any other movement. Because you can hate liberals for, pronouns, or you can hate that they want this policy or that they called you a mean word, or even you can be horrified by political violence. All of it. But that can be solved through our law enforcement apparatuses in terms and prosecutorial and our justice system in terms of holding people accountable when they do those individual acts, and determining the fate of the country can be done through our vote, through our democratic system. So if we have that power, there's no need and there's no moral opening for violence. But if you degraded our democratic system and let's say leaders started stealing elections and the majority was not being heard anymore and our democratic system collapsed, then you would be closer to, all right, now we have to take it into our own hands, right? And again, the only person in American history who's really tried to take away that right was Donald Trump in 2020. And Tim Pool ran cover for it. Do you remember when I was on his show and we were analyzing the termination of the Constitution Post? And he was like, well, and we pulled up on screen. He's like, well, no, I did a comprehensive analysis of this post. It's like one line where he says the thing that proves what he said. And like there's different interpretations of allows for the termination of the Constitution. There's different meanings within that Trump's getting at. And so he's grifted, found a little avenue for himself that worked, and how dare he be described as a moderate? What? And that really is the only thing. Political violence spiking, it's bad, but it's not civil war. Again, go study history, you goober. Hunter made some great points there with historical references. And so we have to hold on to hope. And I believe, and I talked to actually a not liberal, I would say like further left than that, who was saying, we got into it over the Charlie Kirk assassination. And I was just saying, here's the reasons why I'm opposed to political assassinations. And they were like, yeah, but it was a lot of that. And I was like, no, right, I get that's, yes, I disagree with every single thing he advocated for, and he said a bunch of disgusting stuff, but here's why, and then I laid out, as I've done for y'all a bunch of times, why that's bad. And they would go, yeah, but like, And then I went and I laid out the whole framework of how, what I just sort of referenced, democratic, peaceful solutions have to be morally, you have a moral obligation in a system that functions like ours to use democratic means unless those democratic means have completely been eliminated, not degraded, not funny games being played, completely eliminated. And this person was arguing they have. That's not true. I'm sorry. It's not true. We still do have our vote. We do. Oh, but Republicans do voting purges. Yes. That's called bad behavior. That's not the whole system collapsing. So we can use our democratic power. And until we don't have it at all, that is what we're morally obligated to use to confront horrible movements like MAGA.